Good morning, everyone. So we're back with our little Rails/Hotwire project. And today I'd like to try implementing editing tasks and deleting tasks. But first, I'm going to show you a little thing that I added, and that's selecting the task estimate. This is a very simple stimulus JavaScript thing on the front end, so I'm not going to get into detail with this one, because it's not that interesting, but let's just create a task that is supposed to take 20 minutes. Book new flights. And I also added it right here where it's printing just 20. Because in database it's stored as integer, and I'm just printing that integer right here. So let's go to Rails and let's format that. Okay, we're gonna create a helper for that. And we already have tasks helper, so that should be easy. We should just add, we'll just add, let's switch that to spaces, 2 of them. Def format estimate. So here in task, we're not gonna print task.estimate, we're gonna print format estimate, task estimate. Refresh, great. Okay, so how should we format this in a Ruby? I'll just first see if there's any function already that I can just use. So let's look for Ruby format duration, or more like Rails format duration. Not exactly. Looks like this question should... Distance of time in words. Let's try that. I think this will accept seconds instead. Let's see. 20 minutes, great, except I don't want the full minutes string. All I want is like M. Okay. Okay, let's do it manually. This is doing too much stuff. So we'll just do hours equal estimate divided by 60. And estimate should probably become a float. Thing is, I don't exactly remember how to do these things in Ruby. So if we have 120, if we have like 100 minutes, it gives me an integer. So I have to do 2f. Now it gives me a float. So this is good. So now I have hours, and I want to get a floor. Can we do that? Yeah, perfect. Okay. All right, so that's number of hours, and then we want minutes, remaining minutes. So we'll want modulo, and I'm not sure how to do that. Again, I don't remember it because it's been a while. And there is a modulo operator, so that's easy. So estimate modulo 60, and that should give me the number of minutes. So so the thing is now, take a look at this time selector. You can see that the formatting is done here as well. And we're gonna take a look into our estimate controller, and we'll see how it is done in JavaScript. And now you can already notice a problem with Hotwire. If I have a situation like this, where I have a JavaScript component that has to do some of its own interaction on front end only, and then I want to do the same thing on back end. Now this code, format estimate, it needs to be written twice in 2 different languages. And I don't see any workaround around it. I don't see any way around this in a situation like that. If I want to have an interactive component. So just keep that in mind, that this is an issue that if you decide to use Hotwire, this is an issue you're gonna run into. You're gonna have code in multiple places, like I'm writing right now. See, I have exactly the same thing going here. But anyway, let's just go with it. Let's go. Result equals empty string. Now, if hours, I'm just copying code now. So if hours is greater than 0, result, we're gonna add hours h and a space. And likewise, if minutes is greater than 0, we're gonna add to result minutes m. And I think we'll just return the result. Okay. Oops. Oh, okay. I typically use Python. This is why I'm forgetting the end. Great. Now it seems formatted. Let's try it. Actually, I can't edit tasks yet, so I'm not going to change it into anything, but we'll get there. Let's create a new task instead. Let's do hour and a half. And what could take such a long time? I don't know, write some kind of essay. Save that. Good. This seems to be formatted properly. One more thing I want to do is that I want to give them some special style. And this is the idea behind my to-do app, is that if I have tasks that are super quick, I really want them to be kind of highlighted and propagated to the top. So I want a visible badge if the task is pretty short. And if it takes a while, it doesn't have to be that visible, because, you know. So the point is to get you to do your easy tasks first, to get those out of the way. That's why I want a nice highlight for that short estimate. So let's just look for some background colors. Let's just see what's available here. So what do you think we should do for like a pretty short task? I would go with something very visibly green, like this 600 green. Kind of means that, hey, this task is super easy, do it now. Okay, so we'll do def, and we'll do, I think, color for estimate, end. Now, if estimate is greater or equal to 0, I meant less or equal to 10. What am I saying? It's too early. So if it's less or equal to 10, so like a 10-minute task, we'll return a very visible shade of green. So like this 600. If it's else if estimate is like, I'll just do one for each. Okay, we're gonna get Sketch for this. It's gonna be way easier with Sketch. So let's do that. So let's draw this badge we want to have. It's gonna be just a rectangle with little round corners and with some. Oh, how do I get these? I had Tailwind Sketch somewhere. Good. But those colors may have changed. I don't think this one is up. Yeah, this one isn't up to date. This one has way more colors than the real thing. So let's close this. Tailwind to Sketch. I just want to get the colors. I want to get a palette. Palette? Whatever. All right, never mind. I just want all these colors as a Sketch file. Again, Tailwind to Sketch colors. Tailwind Sketch colors, Sketch style library. Yeah, kind of like that. Is this up to date? 3 months old. It probably should be. All right, let's get it. Let's get the zip file. All right, perfect. Okay, so they're actually suggesting some way to add it as a library. I'm gonna do that now, and because I don't want to do that. So what is this color? Teal. So do they have teal in this documentation? Teal. Let's look for teal. I'm not seeing teal. This is also not up to date, I'm afraid. I don't think it is. BG green exists. BG teal, don't think so. BG green, it's this one. Oh man, if I just had an up-to-date file with all these colors, never mind. Let's just go with that. Let's just grab BG green 500. I'll get a color snapper here, and I'll grab this 500 as one of my colors. And where's my rectangle? So this is not needed anymore. All right, let's set up background color like that. Look at that. I'm gonna just put a text here. What it was 500. BG green 500 is this one. Okay, so this will be if it's like 10 minutes. 10M. We'll use SF Pro, and we'll do 14 pixels and semi-bold and white. So that's what roughly what my badge for 10 minutes should look like. Okay, so for 20 minutes, should still be kind of green, but maybe slightly lighter, maybe. So like maybe this one, that's 300. Kind of like that. Actually, I don't think this is a good way of doing it. Let me explain. It's gonna be easier if we just do it with the code. Let me explain. So first thing, color for estimate is gonna be a pair of colors. It's gonna return a background color and a foreground color. So in this case, it will be this darker green and white text. If it's like less or equal than 20, we'll do BG green like, so background will be like 300 and text will be like BG green 700 or something. And for the rest of them, for now, we'll just do background will be BG gray. This is just a placeholder, BG gray 300, and text will be, actually text is text gray 700. So this needs to be text. And I think maybe they have different shade for background color and for the shade and for the text color, even though it is the same number. I don't know. Anyway, let's go back to task, and for the text we'll do colors for estimate, and we'll do join. So the helper returns an array of strings, which is really an array of class names. So we're gonna join these class names and print them out. Good. Now one more thing, let's dump the database. Let's migrate again. And let's just create a couple new tasks, one for each estimate. So let's go. Task 10 minutes, create. Task 20 minutes. Oops, I forgot to do it. So let's just start over. Refresh. They're still here. Okay. So task 10 minutes, task 20 minutes. Task 30 minutes, task 40 minutes. I forgot again, I'll fix it in database. Actually, there's no such thing as 40 minutes. It's only directly 1 hour. Oh man. Okay, let's open up this SQL file. Use trial, tasks, data. So 30 minutes is supposed to be 30. Refresh. Okay, fixed. Task, 1 hour. Okay, 1 hour. And what was the next one? It's like hour and a half. And let's add a 2-hour task. Okay, so now they're all printed, and we're gonna, so let's add rounded corners. There we go. Let's add some padding. So padding X2, padding Y1. I don't know. That's a little bit too much from the top, and too much on the sides as well. This is good. This is pretty good. So now we can tweak the colors. Okay, 2 hours is gonna get like an ugly shade of red. I'm sure of that. Is there a red? This is pink. But it also shouldn't be like that visible, you know, when it's, I mean, if it's a high estimate, I don't know, it doesn't, well, I don't know, let's try this, BG red 500 and white color. So let's just do else if estimate is less than 30, that else if estimate is less than 60, that else if estimate is less than 90, that else if estimate is less than I don't know, 120. Actually, never mind. Don't need to add that. So when it's like super long, when it's over hour and a half, we'll just go with BG red 500 and text white. See what that looks like. Great. That's like super difficult task right there. So if it's like 30 minutes or so, I think we're gonna still go with green, I think, because 30 minutes is not very hard. Or should we just go to, it's like a normal task. Why don't we go with blue, BG blue 200. So BG blue 200 and text blue 400. And let's make this a little bit darker. That's too much. That's kind of okay. This is fine. Okay, so so you see what I'm doing here is, well, I don't know what I'm doing. Just coloring these estimates. An hour is going to be something yellow. So let's do BG yellow 200 for an hour. BG yellow 200 and text yellow 400. That's not very visible. 700. Yeah, that's more like it. 600. Let's do 700. An hour and 30 minutes is going to have slightly darker background, so let's go with BG yellow 500 and maybe use white text now. Here we go. Okay, not bad, not bad. It's not great. It's not great at all. Let's actually just switch this right here and use a darker shade of blue for this one. So we'll do 400 and text blue 800. That's, I don't know. Yeah, that's not bad, I think. Okay, one last thing I'm doing. I'm obsessing about this, but one last thing. This super easy task is going to have fairly slight background. Like that. Okay, oh, here we go, that's not bad. That's actually not so bad, because I have like light green for super short task. I get a little darker green for slightly longer task, and then same thing with shades of blue. Maybe this color is a little off. Did I save? Okay, so that's fine. Maybe for yellow we'll do 600 here, and maybe here we want to go with that super visible red yet. We'll just use yellow too. Okay, this is not bad. I kind of like that we're only using 3 different colors and we're not using that super in-your-face red. Okay, well, one more thing. Let's do one more thing here. Let's wrap this estimate. Where is it? In a div, because I want the estimate to be aligned to the left. So div class, we'll just do like some width. Okay. Ooh, that's not enough room. Let's do 7 or 8. 8 is not enough. Let's do 10. 10 is not enough. Jeez. 14. Better. 12. Not enough. 13. Okay. So if we give it a width of 13 whatever, I don't know what these units are, then it looks fine. Okay, let's open up application HTML. And where is it? HTML. Let's fix one thing that I added earlier. I added max width for this container. I don't want it anymore. What did I do it in the CSS file? I don't think so. Action bar, no. Where did I do it? Can you see it? I can't see it. Maybe I did it in index. So index. So this is my main problem with the Nova editor. Do you notice how long it takes to open a file? That's super annoying. I didn't do it here. Where did I add the max width? Tell me. Who has the max width? So UL, do you have max width? Yeah, UL task list. So that should be in my application here. Oh, here we go. So let's not do that. Refresh. Let's let it take the full width. Come on. Oh, it's compiling the CSS. That process is super slow and I have to refresh again. All right, one last thing I'm gonna do is just tweaking the layout a little bit. So here we have, this is the action bar. Here we have the application. We got some padding here. This is going to be just the vertical padding, and we'll add horizontal padding, which will be more. So it'll be a little bit, oh no, that's not what I want. That's not what I wanted. Actually, it is what I wanted. I wanted BX something. Like padding X is what I wanted. Add horizontal padding. BX dash something. Why doesn't that work? Come on. BX. I think I used a number that isn't defined. Yes, 18 isn't defined, so we'll just use 16 instead. And maybe a little bit more. Should we try 20? I don't think so. Let's stick with 16. Okay. I just wanted to give it a little spacing here from this right edge. That's all. All right, we got our estimates now. So let's work on deleting tasks. And I already have a button to delete here. Actually, I set up my Git repo now. So we're gonna commit this. And I have a little Christmas present for you. This is all open source if you wanna check it out or do something of your own with it. So I'll show you the repo in a sec. This is showing task estimates. So I should be able to just go to github/me/taskwire. And here's the repository. So if you wanna take a look, feel free to go ahead. There's not much going on yet. It's just a very simple, basic, empty Rails repo. But I'll be committing all my code in there. Okay, now I got selecting going. I got the delete button. So we're gonna do something about this delete button now. All right, so we just finished showing the estimates. So let's open up my action bar controller, and let's actually print the number of tasks that we want to be able to delete. Oops. So let's open application. One more thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to application HTML, and I'm gonna move the action bar out into its own helper. So I'll do new file and underscore action bar.html.erb. I'm going to take this, go to action bar, paste here, and go back and do render partial action bar and refresh. Okay, so it's looking in application/action bar, not in layouts. So let's create a folder here, application, and let's move action bar into application and refresh. Okay, here we go. So action bar is showing up, but we need to do something with it. So here we have subscribed to selected ID. So one thing we have to do is we need to be able to target this. Oh, okay, hold up. Action bar. This is so slow, isn't it? All right. So we got button here, and we'll do data. And I don't recall how to do this. Stimulus.js. Stimulus. So it is data, controller name, target. So data, action bar, target is delete button. And now I have to go here and say targets. And we'll say, what was it called? Delete button. And that means now I'll be allowed to say this dot something target. So when we update, we'll do const count selected, and that'll be just if there is a selected ID 1, otherwise 0. And later we'll be able to select multiple rows, and then we'll be printing more than 1. For now, we're just sticking with 1 or 0. So count selected. So we'll do a label for this guy, and I'm just gonna delete the original label like that, just so it doesn't mistake us. Now we have a delete button, so we should be able to say this delete button target, but there's a span in there, so we'll have to look for get element. Okay, get element by tag name. And this is actually not so great. I don't want to call this big method. We'll just change this a little bit. We'll just take this delete button and we'll move it right here. So we'll do action bar target it'll be like delete button label. And this is getting a little ugly, and it would be so much nicer in React. So, but we're still gonna do it. And inner tag will be, for now, let's just like do test, refresh, see what it looks like. Test, okay. So let's change it to delete and then number. So count selected. So select, print 1, prints 1, and if I unselect it, the whole thing disappears. So I don't really see it with 0, but it's okay. Why is this so annoying now? I have to print delete button label here, which is like super long word. If this was React, this would have been so much simpler, so much easier. We would just be writing HTML inside our JavaScript, and in there we would just print for the value right here next to span. So yeah, this is not fun, but it's also not terrible, I would say. What I was thinking about is that when I last wrote JavaScript like that in Backbone, it was a couple of years ago, and back then there was no React yet. And back then, I felt like the code was pretty complicated and kind of hard to manage. Now these days, I have seen React. I have seen a nice structured Redux code. And having that experience helps me write even this kind of code in a very clean way, I think. So you guys remember Zustand from last video. That's like global state, kind of like Redux. And we just applied that principle. We took that principle from React and we applied it here, and it makes code like this a lot cleaner. So I guess what I'm trying to say is if you take some principles from React, you apply them to stimulus code, you can still have pretty clear and manageable code base even without React. This is what I'm trying to do here. Obviously, when you get in a situation like that, where you want to just update this label and you have to write this long variable name, delete button label, and then reference it as delete button label target, that becomes annoying, and it would have been a lot cleaner in React, but the structure of it is still pretty simple. What you have here is a very simple component that doesn't do much, has an update method and updates a couple labels. Okay, that was my cue to stop talking and continue doing. Okay, so we changed the text here to delete. So what we want to do next is, I thought about this, is that we're not going to use the regular delete endpoint that we already have. If we go over to tasks controller, we already should have a def delete destroy, I'm sorry. The reason why I don't want to use this is because it's using the delete method. And if we take a look at turbo.hotwire.dev and look in their handbook, we have navigate with turbo drive, and what I want to do here is I want to like visit this URL from my JavaScript, really, because there's not going to be any form to submit, there's no link, it's going to be triggered by clicking here. So it is actually a link technically. I'm just going to do it through JavaScript, and they have a method for this, turbo.visit location. The problem is that there is no such thing as turbo submit form. So I think only GET requests will be supported here. And for that reason, I'm going to go to my routes RB. And for resources, I'll do do end, and I'll do collection, stay with me, and I'll do get batch destroy. I'm just gonna say destroy instead of delete because that seems to be a Rails language. And I'll add def, and we'll do this nice comment, get tasks batch destroy. And there's no JSON format. So batch destroy is gonna take IDs from params. It's gonna be get params of IDs, and it'll split it using comma. And that's how you'll be able to destroy multiple tasks. You'll do IDs equal like 1, 2, 3, 4, like that, if you want to destroy multiple tasks. So we'll just print IDs for now. And we'll do a redirection the same way we did for when updating or creating. When you create, it's redirecting to tasks path. So we'll do that. And I think we can copy a respond to format, even though we're not going to support JSON at the moment. Oops, what happened here? Okay, so we're not using JSON right now. We'll just redirect to tasks path when we batch destroy. Now we should be able to go to task/batch destroy and see what happens. Undefined method split for null class. So we'll do IDs 1, 2, 3, and it redirected me, and here it should print, and it did. It printed 1, 2, 3. Now, one thing I want to fix is if you go to this URL batch, what was it? Batch destroy. If you go here, this will cause a 500 error. So I want to see Rails raise bad argument error, something like that. Argument error. That's not exactly what I want. HTTP error codes. There's an error that will tell you that you made a bad request. Bad request, of course. Rails bad request. Bad request, perfect. So how do we do that? Like that. So we'll do unless params IDs and raise action. This looks ugly. Bad request. And we'll say missing IDs parameter, param, whatever. Refresh. Great. Now we should have gotten a bad request error. And so when it is rendered on front end, like when it's rendered in production, it's not gonna give you ugly 500 error. It's gonna give you, I don't know, some proper error message. It's all good. Okay, so let's actually delete the tasks. Actually, you know what? Let's not yet. Let's first hook up front end. So let's go to action bar controller, and here we'll do action on button. So data. I don't know how to do this. Let's open up stimulus. What's nice about this stimulus framework is that all the documentation you need is in the hero section of your landing page. This is literally all that you need. You get this data action right here. So you just say, when you click on it, go to my action bar controller and call delete. Might be reserved keyword. So let's do delete tasks. So delete tasks, when this is called, we'll just do alert. Very reliable debugging technique. Delete, and we got the alert. So that's great. Okay, that's all great. But now we need to visit this URL. We need to visit /tasks/batch destroy. And that's a bit of a problem because we need to deal with routing here. Okay, I'll take a shortcut just now, and I won't deal with the routing right away, because Rails is gonna have some official way to do this, to pass your backend routes to your front end, so that your Ajax call would know what to call, and so that these routes wouldn't be hardwired. Instead, they would be taken from backend. So whenever it changes in backend, the front end gets updated, and you don't have the same thing in two places. So for now, we'll just hardwire them, and we'll do turbo. So turbo handbook reference drive. We'll do turbo question. I have a question. So should I rely on my global object or should I import turbo? So if you go to my application.js, the back file right here, we're importing turbo from the module, but we're also actually not. It's not a global object. If I look for turbo here, it's not there. So we have to import it. Okay, so turbo dot what dot visit tasks batch destroy, and we'll one thing I just noticed is I was using this super small font size. I'm sorry about that. Might have been hard to read. Okay, at least halfway through I realize. Okay, so IDs will be we're gonna get the selected ID from here, and there'll be only one, but I'll still make it for future. So IDs equal selected ID join with comma. Oh, there's an error. Select ID. So IDs. Let's just first. Oh, never mind. Okay. Refresh. Select. Delete. Something happened. Something went wrong here, but something happened as well. Refresh. Delete. Oh, we got a bunch of errors. Okay. One of these controllers has failed to disconnect. So let's open my connected controller. And I messed something up here, clearly. Calling unsub functions. This unsubscribes. I don't know I don't know in which controller that happened. So let's do that again. Calling unsub function. There seems to be one. I just don't know what it does. It tells me that unsub is not a function. I don't know which controller that was. Maybe we'll just print the controller as we do as this gets called. We'll just print disconnecting this. So console delete. So what are we disconnecting? What is that? Look at that. This has an unsub array. Which one was that? Like something is not updated here. Where are my controllers? Action bar. Does it have unsub? It doesn't. Connected. Well, this one has that. It's okay. Estimate. Do you have unsub? No. Hello? No. Main pane? No. Oh, okay. Task controller. Oh, look at that. Okay, so this guy shouldn't be here for sure, but it doesn't matter. Delete. Dang it. What do you mean it's not a function? No, it is a function. What do you mean it's not a function? What is it then if it's not a function? Oh, I should say off. For unsub off, not in. So delete. Something reloaded. A bunch of things got disconnected here. That's a good thing. Means that all the content should have been replaced. Now the question is, if I go to my task controller now and I actually, which one? the Ruby task controller. So if I go here, oh, come on, task controller, RB, please. So if I go to my Ruby task controller and I actually delete them, so Rails delete by IDs. Yep, that works. That works. So we got IDs, and IDs should really be integers. So ID, or let's just, oh man, how do you do this? I'm not sure if I got this right. I haven't done it in ages. I'm really not sure about the syntax. It's exciting. Like this Ruby syntax, this one-line Ruby syntax is exciting. Let's test it here in IRB. Map ampersand to I. Yep, that's how you do it. I remember correctly. Okay, so model, that will be task where ID is one of the IDs. Destroy all. Refresh. And let's delete this last one. Oh yeah, did you see that? That was Hotwire in action. Oh man, beautiful. Okay, when you do that, we need to unselect everything, right? So when you, let's go to action bar controller, and when you delete, let's unselect everything. So we need to do tasks set state. I don't remember how to do this. Set state. Okay, let's just copy that. Go back here. So task set state selected ID. Undefined. All right, let's refresh. And again, select, delete. That was beautiful. What happened here is that I called my delete endpoint. That had redirected me back to the main endpoint, to the list endpoint. And that list endpoint returned updated list with the selected task missing now because it was deleted. And that result, that HTML was taken, and this HTML was updated with that resulting HTML, and that just made the task disappear. In my opinion, this is absolutely beautiful. I don't know. It's this Hotwire Rails thing is growing on me. It's not as good as React, of course, in terms of interactivity, but it's fun. It certainly is fun. Let's do a small tweak and let's get rid of that progress bar in case that it's done within 250 milliseconds. Refresh. So if I go and delete now, it still showed me the progress bar. Let's set it to 500, which is the default value, I think. Delete. Now it went without the progress bar. Okay. So one last thing I want to do is editing these tasks. I'm not sure yet how to do it. I'd like to do it on click. So wherever I click. However, if I do it on click, then my selection will not work properly. So maybe we should just do it on double click. But for now, let's do it very explicitly. Let's open _task HTML. And let's add a edit button here. This is like the old school Rails way of doing something like that. I just want to make it look very Railsy. Look at that, a blue edit link. Okay, so I click edit. I should be taken to my edit HTML. If there is such thing, yes, there is. So let's do that. Let's do a real link here. I'm gonna do rake routes. Oh, that doesn't work. So what's the Rails routes? I just want to see all my routes printed out. Yeah. and I'm looking for edit task. So that's all I need, edit task. That was simple. Edit task path, and I think we'll provide a task. And let's just format this a little bit. Okay, let's click edit. Okay, very interesting just happened. Very interesting thing just happened. First, my task got selected because I clicked the edit button. Then a Hotwire request was made. So if I inspect here, you'll see that edit. No, it wasn't, in fact. This doesn't look like a Hotwire request. This looks like a proper redirection somewhere else. I wonder why. Or was it? Oh. Interesting. This looks like a full load. It just doesn't look like a Hotwire XHR request. I wonder why. Because when you click this add a new task link, this one, it's just the same thing, but this is a Hotwire request instead. In my edit, it doesn't look like that's what it was. So I don't know. Gotta have some more sugary drink for that. And by the way, I didn't get to turbo streams yet. This has got to be interesting. Because it's loading page changes over WebSocket. And wow. But I think this is only for like live user interfaces. So it's not really meant for a traditional app that I'm building. Anyway, let's get back to my problem. By clicking a turbo drive enable link. Now, is it turbo drive enabled? Do I have to wrap it in a frame in order for it to be turbo? In order for it to be, what was I going to say? In order for it to be turbo drive enabled, do I have to wrap it in a frame? So if I go to my new HTML, this is how you do a frame, turbo frame tag. So let's try that. We'll call this one edit task, and we'll wrap the entire thing here. So end goes here. And what is that stuff? Oh, this is a comment. I don't think we need this anymore. So let's just wrap the entire task in a frame. Let's see if Hotwire will be used this time. I don't think it has been used. Because I see the loader up there in the browser. I mean, what I would do here is also add my frame here. But it doesn't seem to do anything. That was still a browser request. See? The loader is up there. If I click new task, there's no loader. It just comes up. Amazing. What is going on? and it's the same syntax and everything, just a href with the path. So if I were maybe to change this path from my current edit task path to new task path like here, would that have worked? New task path. It's still not working. What? That is very strange. Okay, I'm gonna take a break on recording because this might take a while to figure out, and I'll resume once I have figured it out, so you won't notice a thing. Okay, I'm back, and I think I know what happened, even though I haven't tested my theory yet. Recall that if I open my task HTML, this task is connected to a controller. And this is triggering a method called handleClick. So if I open up my task controller.js, I have handleClick, and handleClick has a nifty call to event.stopPropagation. And my theory is that by calling event.stopPropagation, that just breaks the entire turbo handling. So let's see if it works if I comment out that line. Yep, that was it. So cool, that kind of resolves my problem here. And notice that the edit form is working properly. It loaded everything for me, the title, the estimate, everything. I should be able to update those things soon, but we'll get there. And also cancel the successfully. First thing I want to do is stop using this very classic Rails style. Nope. We're gonna instead use double click to handle that, and it'll also resolve my problem with prevent default or stop propagation. So let's just get rid of this entire edit link. And this time I think I will get my URL in this task data property. So data task edit URL value equals, and we'll copy it over here. We'll get rid of this edit link. So edit URL is a string. So and now let's handle double click. This is starting to look a little ugly. Let's try to clean it up. Okay, better. Let's do data action double click. I'm not sure if this exists. Let's take a look first. Okay. Double click. We'll see. Handle double click. Refresh. Is it because I did stop propagation? No, it's not. So maybe I messed up this double click thing. Let's try spelling it out. Double click. Nothing. Nothing. Still nothing. Let's go back to where we were before. What's the problem? let's not handle the click event. Oops. I know what the problem is. I have defined data action twice. So what I really need is to handle multiple actions. How do you do that? Multiple actions. Space. Refresh. Okay, so double click is being handled now. Okay, so what should we do when you double click? We should edit the task, and first we need to get the edit URL. So const URL equals this edit URL value, I think. Great. So what should we do with it? We should just do turbo dot. Come on. So how do I do that? Let's open up action bar where I did it last. Import turbo, and let's do turbo visit URL. Okay, great. Except it didn't use my frame. And I think we just need to specify a target frame. Okay. One thing I'm going to try is go to my task right here, and I defined a frame here. Let's actually redefine this frame and include the task ID in the frame tag. Let's now open my edit HTML, and here let's also use the same frame ID. Refresh, try double clicking. What? Okay. Task. Well, it still didn't do what I needed it to do. It replaced the page. It didn't navigate into that frame. I'd like to use this one, like data turbo frame, but it seems like it can only be used on. It seems like you can't use this programmatically. That's not good. Okay, again, let's pause the stream and let's do some research. How do I pause it? What? Okay, so I did a bit of research, and I don't know how to do it. I mean, what is happening here is I am inside my task. I'm inside my frame. I have the same frame ID coming from here, but if I want to replace the content of this frame, it seems like I have to trigger that visit from inside this frame. So I'm just going to do that. I'll keep the edit link. Oops. So I'll keep the edit link. Oh, what's going on right now? Okay, I can still select. So I'm gonna keep the edit link here, except I'm gonna hide it. And this was just testing. So the edit link is hidden, but I can still target it by saying data task target equals edit link. And I can go to my task controller and do static targets, I think, edit link. And then when you double click, let's just see if I can access this target. This edit link target. So double click, and here's my target. So, and now I'm going to say this edit link target dot click, essentially triggering the click event, I think. So double click, and okay, not good. Is this because of stop propagation still? Don't think so. Actually, let's try that. Yeah, okay, so that's what it is. I had stop propagation here. Oops. All right, so now wait a second. So I double click, and it seems that my double click event has called this handle click again. What I'm trying to do is I want to not call stop propagation. Come on. Oh. Just gonna clean something up. Click event. This doesn't seem to be working very well. Like, it seems like a terrible approach, and I'll have to do more research. I just want to find some kind of working solution. So this is what I'm trying to do, but my stop propagation is breaking it for me. I'll just do a quick fix. I'm gonna hide stop propagation for now, and I'll go to my main pane controller, and I'm gonna remove this handler just for now. So if I refresh and double click, and perhaps click on it. Actually, all right, here's what, whoa, no. So it's being called 3 times now, this handle click. The first 2 is for the double click, and the last one is for the artificial click from this line. I'm just trying to see if I can get that target, if I can. This is what I was going for, great. So, okay. So if event target is not equal to this dot edit link target, so if this is not an artificial click, then stop propagation. And let's restore this stuff. Okay. All right, seems like I can now edit tasks. Can I actually change anything? Okay, almost. Tasks, control. Hold on, let's clean this up first. I'm actually gonna keep this commented out because I wanna play with it later. So when you update, you wanna redirect to the index. Okay, back here. So edit, update. Okay, well, at least something works. So I can update these tasks now, maybe even change the estimate. One last thing, form. And I don't want to say create. In the button, I want to say save. So double click, edit, change estimate to 2 hours, save, and it's saved. Okay, well, this was interesting. This is I'm not doing it properly now. Like this entire artificially clicking a link thing is not working right. And I'm sure there is some API that I can use to do it from JavaScript. I just didn't find it right now. So I'll just keep it as is, and we'll see what we can do later with this. Still, this was fun. Thank you for watching, and hopefully I will keep playing with this and posting more videos. There's a good chance I will abandon this project because this is nothing like React. It's not that much fun after having struggled with this problem for quite a while. So we'll see. See ya.